Alright, in this lesson we are going to look at Review Notes Day 2. This is graphing compound inequalities. So there's a couple of things we need to go over before we can graph. And you will need to add to your notes. Alright. First of all, we need to look at the circles and what they mean. So we have solid circles and filled in circles, and you've went over this in the past. So this is what we need to look at briefly. An open circle is for greater than or less than, and then a closed circle is greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. So if it has the line. So that's the two circles there. The other thing is, if you're going to use the direction of the arrows, the X needs to be on the left side. I don't recommend it, but we'll look at it both ways. So, number 1, X is less than, if it makes an L, it's less than, is less than or equal to 8. So find the number here, and I put a circle around it. Then I look back. Since this has a line here, then I'm going to fill it in. It's going to be solid on the 8. Then X is less than or equal to 8. So it's going to be everything that is less than or equal to 8. Okay, make sure to fill that in so it can be seen pretty good. Here you can use highlighters and colors. That would be a good idea. I'm going to use a couple different colors here. Then we have X is greater than -2. So I'm going to go to the -2. There is no line underneath of this, so it's an open circle. And since X is on the left, I can go in the arrow, but it's X is greater than -2. So it's everything this direction. Okay. And then on my paper, I went back through and said, okay, we want to know the ands. So we want everything in between. This is the answer we're looking for. We are also looking for what's included, but this is the answer we are looking for. Everything in between that they share, that they overlap with. Okay, let's look at another one. So number 2, X is going to be between -3 and 9. So I'm going to go to -3 and put an open circle. There's no line, so it stays open. The X is going to be greater than -3. It doesn't go in the way that the arrow points, so be careful there. X is greater than. And then X is going to be less than, because it looks like an L there with the way that you read it. Because see, the first one said -3 is less than X, so everything greater than. 9. Again, open circle, no line. And then it's X is less than 9. Okay? The other way you can look at this, we can separate it. We have X, and because it looks like it's kind of eating the X, we can go like this. -3 if you want to put it on the left. And then we have X is less than 9. So then this, if the variable is on the left, it will tell you which direction to shade. If that helps, you can separate them out. Okay. Go ahead, I want you to pause, try 3 and 4, and then you can check them. Okay, here's what I got, and make sure you highlight what they're combined, because you want what's everything in between. Okay, it includes -1 and 1. And on my last problem, I forgot to do that. So it's just everything in between, does not include -3 or 9. Try 4. Okay, number 4. We have X is less than or equal to 14. Solid circle here, everything that goes this direction. Or we want everything that's greater than 35, not including 35. So these do not have any shaded regions to color. Okay, go ahead and try 5 and 6. We're going to skip 7 and 8. Okay, then again here we have this shaded region in between. Everything from 0 to 6, not including 0 and 6. The next one we're going to include -30 here, but we're not going to include -18, so everything in between. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to do the same idea, but first we're going to skip 9 and 10. We are going to solve inequalities and then graph. So what we've done so far is graphed. Now we need to solve them first.
Miss Davidson, if you're in the building.
Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this problem here. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. On my work, I rewrote it right below the line, just like I'm doing here. I was able to fit it in that space provided. I need to solve, so just like solving equations, draw a line. I want the m by itself, so my goal is to get m down here by itself. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. This goes away, I'm left with m. My sign comes down just like it is. It came straight down, did not change it. Negative 17. Well, this says m is going to be less than negative 17. You can rewrite it. Okay, m, this is pointing at the m if that helps, if you need the m on the left. So m is less than negative 17. So we're going to go to negative 17, open circle. We want everything that's less than that. So we're not doing compound, we don't have 2 right now, we just have 1 inequality to work with. Okay, same idea here. Negative 7 greater than or equal to n minus 15. Okay, add 15 to both sides. Gets rid of that. We have n. Bring the sign down the way that it is. So n is less than or equal to 8. So the other way you can do this, first of all, it's going to be a solid circle because it's or equal to. 8 is going to be greater than or equal to n, so it's going to be the most. Again, you can rewrite it. I just kind of look at which way this is pointing. It's pointing at the end, so make sure to do that here. And it's less than or equal to 8. So it's everything down this direction. It's not always going to do it toward the left. Got a couple more. Number 3. These are one step. So again, I'm going to write it down here. We got to talk about, there's a couple special cases. This is going to be one of them. So to solve this, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 10. Okay, the thing is, if I divide by negative 10, I divide, so if I multiply or divide by a negative number, I must flip the sign. Okay, this is very, very important. Make sure you write that down. So this sign right here is going to get flipped over and it's going to point the other direction because I divided by negative 10. I divided by a negative number. Okay, so negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1. N is greater than or equal to negative 11. That's what I got here. Yes. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and graph that. So here's negative 11. It's or equal to, fill it in. There we go. That's only when multiplying and dividing by a negative number. It's got to be negative. Okay, so here we go. Negative 10 is less than x over 6. That's being divided, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Bring down the x, bring down the same sign. Just because I multiplied doesn't mean it. Just keep going. Same sign, only if it's a negative. And it's okay that this turns out negative. Remember, they're giving you the number line for a lot of these, so make sure it falls on the number line. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. Open circle x. This points at the negative 60, so it's going to point at the negative 60 here. So x is greater than negative 60. So it's going to be everything up here. All right. Again, number 3 is a special case. Make sure that you understand that. 5 and 6 we're going to go ahead and skip for now. Let's look at 7. Again, it's best to rewrite it. We're going to solve it like it's an equation. The only thing we do different is flip the sign if we multiply or divide by a negative. So, since 7 is here, I'm going to multiply both sides by a 7 to get rid of this 7. Then I have 3 plus b on the right, bring down my sign, 21 on the left. Subtract 3 from both sides. b is greater than 18. Again, the answer should be on that number line there for you, so be careful. I'm going to rewrite it. b, flip my sign over if I'm rewriting it. I only flip the sign over if I'm rewriting it or multiplying but dividing by negative, but I kept everything else the same here. Okay, number 8, we have 5x minus 10 greater than or equal to negative 10. Okay, two-step equation, add 10 to both sides. 5x is greater than or equal to negative 10 plus 10 is 0. So keep going. 5 times x, divide both sides by 5. X is greater than or equal to 0. 0 divided by 5 is 0. So fill in line because it's or equal to, it's greater than or equal to, so we're going to go this direction. Okay, I want you to go ahead, we're going to skip 9 and 10, go ahead and try 11 and 12 for me. Pause this video, try 11 and 12, and then check. Alright, here we go. We had some negatives in here, so you should have had, we got 18, that's good, but k is less than or equal to 18. Remember here, when you divided by negative 10 on both sides, you have to flip this sign over the other direction. So if you got greater than or equal to, that was incorrect. You needed to make sure to get less than or equal to. So it should go that direction. Same with number 12. You divided by negative 7, so you had to flip that sign over. So you got b is less than or equal to 7. Alright, that would be solving and graphing inequalities.